Network with your host, Sean Myrie. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. This episode, right, is called Who Shot Ya? Who Shot Ya? About the recent attempted assassination of Donald Trump. People, please subscribe, support the platform. This is about the recent assassination of Donald Trump, the correspondent dinner that happened about Saturday night around 8 p.m. The suspect's name is Cole Allen. What's his name again? Cole Thompson. Cole Allen Thompson, right? I think that's how I got it. Cole Allen Thompson, 31 of California, Terrence, California. This guy was upset, really angry with the administration and Donald Trump. American born citizen. His family basically tipped off law enforcement that this guy was going to do something. He sent out a big, I guess, I don't know what you called it, a letter to his family members, maybe via social media. This guy, he's educated, so, I don't know what you claim is sick or crazy. Educated, he's a tutor, he's been probably around children, he's a game developer, I guess not full game developer. But what happened Saturday evening is this guy rushed the correspondent dinner ballroom and let off 8 shots. No one was really hit. I heard a security guard got hit. But when you see the video, they're escorting people on the stage, and I swear Donald Trump's the last one to be escorted or, protected. You see Vance coming off the stage erratically. Everybody else, people in the ballroom are ducking and stuff like that. Well, the story goes that this guy was traveling all the way from California to Chicago, right? All the way to California to Chicago, and then he winds up in D.C. So this is the question now. How long did they know about this? Because they're claiming they traced his electric whatever devices, and his family warned the I guess the FBI and the law enforcement. So is it possibly, because I thought it was staged, is it possibly they knew he was coming? They stopped him. They actually captured him. This is the first time in a long time. This is the 4th assassination, people. The 4th assassination attempt. They captured this guy, and he didn't get shot. They had a lot of chances to shoot him, but they wanted to capture him because they wanted an example. I'm telling you. So I'm guessing they knew he was coming. They knew he was coming. His family reported him coming. The man was leaving all the way from California, people. He bought weapons. He bought weapons. Fresh weapons, legally. He bought it. And he went all the way to Washington from California, dedicated to eliminate the administration and Donald Trump. This is what I was telling you guys about the ICE, the domestic terrorists. People, bring up the likes, please subscribe, support the platform. This is what I'm talking about, the war times now. Domestic terrorists, people who are Americans who are sick and tired of Donald Trump. This is an example. This is an example of people who are sick and tired of the administration. People are turning crazy. You got a guy like this right now, right? Well, now this morning he's in the courts. Right now he's in the courts. But is he going to plead psycho or, to get off of this type of stuff? Will we hear about him? We probably will hear about this guy because he's alive. The other guy at the Mar-a-Lago who went with the gas canister, right? And he had the shotgun. They unalived that guy quick. You don't even know about that guy. But when you look up that guy's story, the other guy who was at the Mar-a-Lago, you don't know, you don't hear about him, right? Even the last live I done on that, I'm still waiting for that to go through. You don't hear anything about that guy. But this guy, you're definitely going to hear about his whole life. They're telling you what he was into because he's alive, right? This is the 4th attempt on Donald Trump's life. The 4th attempt. 4th assassination. Some people are saying it's staged. Is this one staged? Some people say no, it's not staged, but in a way, you know what the definition of staging is? That they could know that this guy wants to really harm people, right? And they could stop him early. They could have stopped this guy a long time ago, but they watch, and they wait for him to commit the action. He committed the action on Saturday, right? He stormed the ballroom, the correspondent ballroom with journalists, the same people Donald Trump claims he doesn't like, a lot of them, the same people Donald Trump been disrespecting. Well, the negative energy came, right? This is just a preview. 4 times attempted assassination on Donald Trump's life. This guy, Cole, right? His life is finished now. His life is done unless he's going to plead insanity. He's going to be locked up for a while, maybe throw away the key. But this guy's educated. Remember, American citizen. The last assassination attempt, Trump is blaming Iran. He blamed Iran for trying to assassinate him. I guess that was the excuse to go into Iran. Don't forget that, people. Trump he used the assassination stuff to go to war. Remember that. He used the assassination stuff to go to war. Remember that. Okay. So now that this happened now, right, on his life, as he's putting it out there and he's talking now, get ready for something. Get ready for some action he's going to put out because he feels disrespected. He said this guy is dangerous. This guy Cole Allen, right? They said he's against Christians. Next month is supposed to be a special month what Donald Trump is planning for Americans. He's planning a Christian month. This guy's anti-Christian. That's what he claims. He's anti-Christian. This guy's American citizen, born and raised in America from California. This guy took a long trip all the way to Chicago, I think, first, and then he went to Washington with legal guns. This is an example of a domestic terrorist, and there's more of them. There's a whole bunch. There's thousands of them. This is just one guy who really... Now, there might be some copycats. That's what Trump is going to say. Maybe there's going to be some more copycats. This is 4 people. Or, some of them could have been staged too. But he's probably saying, this is 4 people. Right? 4 attempts or whatever they want to call it. So now he could have an excuse to tighten up national security, aka the ICE, aka going after every American citizen, like I've been telling you guys for months what they're going to do. So this guy, he's not a foreign terrorist, he's American terrorist. Why aren't they saying that? Why has it changed the definition of terrorist now? Because he's American? This guy's a terrorist. He's a terrorist. He planned it. It's planned, orchestrated, American terrorists. So make America great again is making American terrorist, because this guy wanted to take out the administration and wanted to take out Donald Trump, right? So his whole mission was to take those people out, not to take out any Iranians, not to take out anybody from the Middle East. It was to take out Donald Trump, 100%. Now this morning, I guess he's scheduled for a hearing. Cole Allen Thompson, that's his name, right? His own family ratted on him. It's his own family that ratted on him. Now the conspiracy theorists are going to come up with this now. They're going to say, now, how long did law enforcement know that this guy was going to do this? Was it when he was all the way in Washington, or was it days before? So just say they knew days before this guy has the anger and his plans, because they said he sent a big message to his family. How long was that? And when he sent that message to his family, right? When he sent that message to his family, how long did it take for them to report him what he's planned to do? How much hours, how much days was it before he went to the ballroom? So this is where I'm illustrating to you, because my last live when I talked about the last assassin, yo, I can't get that live anymore because that shows you I digged up something. Now, how long is it gonna take for them? Like, how long did it take for them to find out? That's the question. How long did it take for them to find out? Because they knew. So what they do, the government will do. Seeing this pattern, even with war, they'll actually watch how they do the investigation. They'll make them actually come to the spot or come close and then apprehend them. When you seen the video, right, and he's going to the ballroom, there's law enforcement in front of the ballroom. I swear, the cameras is making these guys look stupid. I swear they weren't doing nothing. They took out their guns after he ran by them. They took out their weapons after he ran by the room. And they didn't, I guess what? They didn't get a clear shot. The picture what went viral is him on the floor. But that's after he ran past whoever and went into the ballroom and he got 8 shots off. And they didn't even get him. They didn't hit him with no bullets. No bullets? They didn't hit him? I gotta look that up. Nothing? But anybody who gets close to the president normally will get will get deleted. That's the word I'm gonna use. Will get deleted. Right? But this guy managed to go through. So, I can't believe the hype. I seen this coming, people. I seen this coming. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I seen this coming with this whole situation with the war, with Donald Trump talking all this shit, and he's cooking up stuff. He made a lot of Republicans angry. Imagine the Democrats who he made angry too. So he made a whole bunch of people angry. This guy's just one of them. There's going to be more copycats. Definitely there's going to be copycats. Definitely more people are going to try, and he knows more people are going to try to attempt to take his life. He knows that, even if some of it is fake and orchestrated and made. So now this is an excuse for him to put down the law, more strict. Watch what is going to happen. Watch what's going to happen, because their own amendment, whatever their system, works for these domestic terrorists. So he's not calling this a terrorist, eh? What happened to that word? They're not saying this guy's a terrorist. He is a domestic terrorist. He tried to get rid of the government. What is that? Trying to unalive the administration. His target was Donald Trump. So what's going on? There's people who will analyze it, dissect this situation, right? And this story, guarantee they are shadow banning it. It's still out, going viral, but anyone who talks about it and dissects it like me is a threat. And I know that because from the Mar-a-Lago thing, when I talked about that, it was almost a half an hour. And what I was illustrating, I don't know what scared them, but that live, it's still buffing. It must have been sensitive information, what I put out on that one. But right now, what's going on, right, people? What's going on is this guy Cole Allen Thompson is the new algorithm. He's the new algorithm. They're gonna make an example of him. And let's be straight up, he's black. He's a black guy. So now let's spotlight the black guy, right? The other guys, they're Caucasian. We don't even know who those guys are. The guy who was at Mar-a-Lago, most people don't know about that. They forgot about that. And the other shootings, what happened, they forgot about that. But this guy, they captured him. So now they're going to make an example of him, and he's black. Damn. People want to say, no, that don't matter. Yeah, it does matter. You're going to see how they treat this guy story more. He's an example. They're going to put out an example with this brother. They're going to put out an example with this brother. They were following him from LA all the way to Washington. They knew this was going to happen. This is staged. meaning they know what this guy's up to. This guy is dedicated. This is how the CIA or FBI are watching. They're saying this guy's really angry. He's really going to come. They were tracing his steps all the way to Washington. They said, "Oh, that's the guy." He ran through on camera, and you could see it that they let him through. They let this guy through. You could clearly see it, clear as day. They let this guy go through, right? When they show the video, they shouldn't show that video because it shows these guys standing up, the security or whoever, law enforcement, Secret Service, they're standing up. The guy runs through, surprises them. They take out their guns. They didn't shoot him. He goes into the ballroom. He lets off shots, and he still didn't get shot. No one gets shot. Just, I'm hearing a security got shot, maybe, probably, but not critical condition. So now this guy screws his life up by doing this. He's probably going to get some hard sentence in prison. They're going to give him an example. They're going to make him an example. Yeah, 100%. So what does this do? It's going to bring up national security. National security is going to even get more hardcore because attempted assassination on the president, right? So I said, how long will this guy have to live or survive? I was giving him a year more, Donald Trump. I was giving him 1 more year. That's what I would say. I would say a year or so I was giving Donald Trump to live. Let's see if he will pass that threshold. Right now, this is what, number 4? Assassination? Number 4. Attempt. Assassination. So, he has 3 more years. Next time it's going to be a group. Next time it's going to be more than one. What are they going to do when it's like 4 people? Then they're going to lock down the shit. Right? There's some copycats who are going to try. Anybody who has nothing to live for, they're going to be coming after Mr. Donald Trump. So, Saturday evening, right? He goes to a dinner, a correspondent dinner, which I thought he hated journalists. He goes to this correspondent dinner and winds up getting, well, almost assassinated. The last dinner he went to, this is what I'm going to link it to. The last dinner he went to, somebody was trying to assassinate him, but he wasn't at that location. They were at the Mar-a-Lago, Florida estate, which is Donald Trump's. That guy went there, got unalived. But it's such a coincidence that same time, right, Donald Trump was at a dinner too. So now, this correspondent dinner for the journalists, it went down again. But this time, this guy came close, right? Close to hitting Donald Trump. Didn't get him. That's why I call this Who Shot Ya? Who is this guy? Right? He said he was troubled. Donald Trump says this guy was sick. When you look this guy up, he's a tutor. He's very educated, many degrees. But that's to show you it doesn't matter how much degrees you have, how educated you are. This is how they're painting it. He could have all the degrees and in the world, but he still has some issues. So if Donald Trump's saying he's not too right in the head, is he gonna get off as being crazy, not stable? Like, is he gonna? You're helping his defense, Donald. You're saying he's not too right in the head, so he could claim that he was like, not thinking. If you are saying that, Donald, that the man is sick, you basically are helping him. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So, you are helping him, right? By saying he's not too right in the head. So now, how much time is he going to get? This guy could play psycho. Like, he could say that he wasn't right in his head now. He could go from what Donald Trump was saying. Donald Trump said you weren't right in the head. Donald Trump said you were sick. So, guess what? He could plead insanity. Now it's time for him. He could plead insanity. He's saying he's against Christians and all that stuff. Now is the time the man could go and plead insanity. That's what is going to happen, right? If I was his defense, I would say he is insanity. Even the president said he's sick in his head. So you can't give this guy life. You can't give him no strict time in prison, no strict time in prison. We don't know his mental state. His family is the one who basically ratted on him. But this is a question people, especially American people, should ask this question. How long did law enforcement know about this guy? How long? And if they knew about this guy way before the ballroom stuff, just say they knew and this guy was coming, the people in the ballroom should sue the government, or Donald Trump should sue them. If they knew, let me say it again, if they knew this guy, Cole Allen Thompson, was coming to Washington, they should sue the government because it seemed like they knew. They're saying that his devices was being traced. So you knew. Are people stupid? Are people not wise nowadays? Are they're not taking it in? They ain't taking it in what they're saying, right? I'm gonna look it up again. They're saying devices was traced. So they were watching him. They were watching him. How much days were they watching him? I'm hearing this was some time, yo. All the cases I've found out, like I've done content on, a lot of these people, a lot of the times they were watching them. So what? You watch them and you wait for them to do something? That's dangerous, yo. That's how the government works. They know about it and they watch to see what they do and then you do actions? This is some crazy stuff, man. You're gonna do actions afterwards? No, this is not right, man. This is not right. You're gonna do actions afterwards. That's not good for the public. That's bad for the public, man. So what's next? I always say what's next. I said something was gonna happen. I did say something was gonna happen a couple days ago. This is it. And this is a distraction too. A big distraction. Because with the war now, that whole thing with the ceasefire, that's off the table. This week, basically America should start to be doing some bombing of Iran. This week. This is the week where Iran, basically it's up. There's no deals. There's no talking. So this is the week America's supposed to be attacking Iran with the army full hardcore. So this whole assassination attempt is a distraction. It is a distraction, people, because the other ones, right? They didn't give a shit about that. They did talk about it, but you don't know who the guy who was the last guy. You don't even know his name. I guarantee you can't even bring this guy, the last assassination people's names up, but you could go bring this guy's name up, Cole Allen Thompson, right? From California, educated, tutor, a game developer, all types of stuff. This guy has degrees. So how crazy it is. What made him so crazy? What made him so crazy that he decided to take things into his own hands, to buy weapons, right? To go all the way from California to Washington and then go to the same thing like he knew there was going to be a ballroom dinner Donald Trump was at. He knew that. So from now on, if I was Donald Trump, but he's kind of brave still, if I was Donald Trump, I would stop going out a lot. Start being more reserved and just sit back and relax. You could talk your shit, but it seems now they know where you at. So all the people who are angry at you, who will do something close to this guy's just a teacher. He's just a teacher, people, or a tutor, an educator, and he done that. He's not even trained in combat. I don't think so. Imagine the guys who are trained in combat more, who don't like Donald Trump. You got 300 million people. I guarantee there's a couple million feeling the same way like Cole Allen Thompson, right? There's a couple people who feel like him. This is not finished. This is not finished, people. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This story is about the shooter. So the shooter is not a foreign terrorist, but he's an American terrorist. I don't know why Trump or the government is not calling this guy a terrorist. I don't know. Why aren't they calling this guy a terrorist? You let me know. That's kind of strange. I guess got tired of the Donald Duck's move in America. Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. But that's just him, D2E. That's just him, man. This guy's a educator and a tutor. He's an educator and a tutor, right? So what I'm saying, what looks funny to me, is that they knew about him. They knew about this guy way before everything. So when we're saying stage, they're saying, oh, it's kind of like they're doing this reverse psychology. Saying, no, it's not staged. You're crazy. This guy went out, done it himself. What I mean is the government could kind of help stage this because they could have stopped him. They could have stopped him a long time ago, but they let him go, right? But out of everyone there, he went out and done something. No, there's some other guys who done something. There's some. Remember, this is the fourth attempt. Fourth attempt. So it's not just this guy. This is the fourth attempt. The other guy went to the wrong location where he thought Trump was going to be, and they unalived his ass. The Secret Service took that guy out at Mar-a-Lago. They unalived his ass. The other person, when he was at the campaign stuff, right? The campaign stuff, I'm not sure if they arrested him or they unalived him. This guy, my whole point is, and I'm going to straight hate to bring the race thing up, but I got to bring it up. They're going to talk about this guy now as an example, and he's black. So they're going to point this shit out. But the other guy, go look up the other guy at Mar-a-Lago, right? Go just look that guy up. Look him up. It's a young guy. Just look him up. They're not going to, you don't even know who that guy is. Even the guy, all the three before this, the three guys before this, you don't know about them. Or whoever there's the three, even if it was staged, you don't know about them. They knew about this guy. His life normally is over, would be over, but Donald Trump said the wrong thing. Sometimes he talks too much. And for his defense, he said this guy's sick in the head. So for him to say he's sick in the head, that helps that guy's defense. All that guy is going to do is plead insanity. And if I was his lawyer, I said, look, the president said he's sick in the head. So that means he didn't know what he was really doing. So how could you charge, like give him the death sentence or give him life? He really didn't know what he was doing. He's going to plead insanity and use, if I was him, use what Donald Trump was saying, right? Use what Donald Trump was saying. But this guy, he is a hero to many. That's another thing too. He's a hero to a lot of people. Now this is where it gets sticky with the media because they are doing filtration. They are doing something. I know I could see it. This is where it gets sticky. Now, and that's why he's going to go on with the censorship and he's going to get strict out there. This is where it gets sticky. If you praise this guy, right? I'm telling you, you guys ain't ready for this now. If anybody, because a lot of people are saying, damn, I wish this guy got him, right? If you are a media person, anything, and you are praising that this guy, man, he's good, he should have deleted Donald Trump. Anybody who praises this guy, you're a target in the media. That's the only thing I won't do. If you praise this guy who almost took out the administration and Donald Trump, they will target you. They're already looking at people, but for sure now, they will target you. Your content will be taken down. They will do something to your content, or they will come looking for you 100%. Because there's a lot of people who are praising this guy saying, yeah, I wish this guy took out Donald Trump or J.D. Vance or whoever, right? So there's people who are supporting this guy. Him going to prison now, being alive, is actually a reverse thing too, because they think by having this guy now as an example, but him being in prison and him talking, getting to speak, right, is gonna make maybe a worse situation in America, because this guy, they're trying to paint him that he's against Christians. They're trying to say this guy is against Christians, against all Christians, that he was so angry and that he went after the president, right? But Donald Trump wants to set an example. He wants to set some example. I'm surprised he didn't get a heart attack, right? Right now, in his head, right? Because, like I said, I believe this was staged. Staged. There's different types of ways to stage shit, eh? They could stage stuff different types of ways. So, what I mean is they could have stopped this whole thing. This never had to happen Saturday. With all the intelligence in the world and all the defense, and like, you're telling me you let this guy through, the Secret Service and the American intelligence and defense, that they let this guy get through that easy? I'm telling you, as people watch these videos, you could call them conspiracy theories, you could call them whatever you want. But when you watch those videos, it clearly shows these guys doing this. The guy's running by them, right? And they're doing this. They watch him first. He runs by, and then they take a while to take out this. And they don't even hit him. He gets right through in whatever, the doors or whatever. He gets right through. 8 shots let off. A couple shots let off. People are ducking, right? When you see the video, Donald Trump's one of the last people on stage they actually save. It was first Vance, right? They go after Vance and a couple other people they escort. Just see the video first. They escort them. Then you see the Secret Service or whoever jump on the stage, and then they jump on Trump. I swear he's like the last people to be, taken away from the danger, the so-called danger. He was sitting around the table as the bullets was going, as the shots was going off. Most of the shots what went off, Donald Trump was still sitting around the table. Still sitting around the table, people. No one got shot. I heard only a security got shot. And not really serious. So, who are they trying to fool in 2026? Now, that is the art of distraction. Because this week is going to be, it's coming down on Iran. This week, it could be earlier in this week, or by the end of this week, they are pulling out the big guns on Iran. So this story, I guarantee it, on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere where you can see social media, this guy is plastered on, Cole Allen Thompson or whatever, right? He's plastered on it. You're going to hear people from his past come and start talking about him. His own family ratted on him. His own family told on him. D2E Network, bless up OG Kicks. So I had to do this over, man. Who shot you? Because now, in the beginning, right, OG Kicks, you told me that they said they unalived this guy first. They deleted him. See, correct me if I'm wrong. And I think I will believe you, because all these are so-called assassination stories. It always changes. In the beginning, didn't they say that the guy was unalived, and then we heard he was in custody? It was in real time. I was on live talking about Donald Trump, right? And OG Kicks told me what happened first, and then I'm hearing, oh, unalived, then it changed, oh, he's in custody. So he's in custody, and I know you've seen this, OG Kicks. Didn't you see the video? This to show you proof. That's why they don't like guys like me. Proof. The Secret Service watched this guy run by. He ran by, didn't tackle him. He ran by. And then, I guess he had a gun. He ran with a gun. But then they were like this. They didn't even shoot him. They didn't shoot him. They seen there's a whole bunch. That video, they shouldn't even show that video. That's embarrassing. They showed a video of these guys holding up the guns and this guy going running right by them. They didn't shoot him. I'm surprised. Black man too. I'm sorry. I'm surprised. They didn't shoot that guy dead. Right? He survived. Damn. That's a miracle too. It might be, some people it's funny, but it's not funny, but it is funny. This guy actually survived, a black guy. This is a black guy who went all the way to Washington to eliminate the American president, and he's alive? Damn. He broke a record, man. Normal black guys, they just go like this in America. Just go like this, you might get your ass shot. Right? Just put your hand in your pocket, you might get your ass shot. This guy actually had a gun, and he ran through, and the Secret Service was supposed to be there, but he didn't get shot. And he let off 8 shots in public where the Secret Service is. And these guys have all types of surveillance all around through. So this is why I'm saying they let him do all of this shit. This is staged. This is staged. Now, remember what I'm saying. How long do you think this guy's going to be incarcerated for? And if he is released, will they even tell you he's released? Because he's going to plead insanity. He has a good defense, actually. He's going to say that Donald Trump is the one who said that he's crazy and sick in his head, right? Could be grand award performance. Yes! You can't say that. Okay, look on the reverse stuff. They're saying, Donald Trump say he's sick. He's sick. He's a sick guy. He has a job. He's educated, right? And he's educated. So you can't say, oh, too much bad stuff about him, but you're saying he's sick because he's against Christianity. So now his defense could say, oh, insanity. He's not right in his head. The man's family, and it's going to come out. And that's why later on, like, they're playing fire with this story because we know it's a distraction for the war. But the man's family basically warned law enforcement, right? I think way before Saturday, told them that he had to make a trip from California, and I think he drove California all the way to Chicago, and then he went to Washington. And he booked a hotel. Stayed. I swear it was a couple of days. He booked a hotel a couple of days. And he had what is called registered firearms. So, man, they're playing with people's heads nowadays more than ever, man. They're playing with a lot of people. Right? So, like I said, the last time I talked about assassination, it is sensitive, people. The last time I talked about assassination, my live is still buffering. Let's see if they do that today, to this one. I don't know what sensitive stuff I put out, but all I was saying in the last time when that guy tried attempt and it didn't really work, the guy went to Mar-a-Lago, the wrong location, he got unalived. When you look on that guy's story, man, it's interesting. Just look up the last guy at Mar-a-Lago. Look up that story. Obviously, something is kind of weird going on, right? That guy is a young guy who took, I think he was 19 years old. He wasn't that old, right? And he went to Mar-a-Lago with a gas canister and what's called a shotgun, ready for Donald Trump. Ready to take him out. But he wasn't there. He was at another dinner that night. That night, he was at another dinner. Same time, like this, at a dinner. So, yo, Donald, you got to be careful where you're going. You got to be careful or whatever. You know what's the funny thing? He better get his own security. Because America, they have their own civil war going on. A lot of politicians, people in power, in the government, they don't like each other now. They're separated over Donald Trump. So some of these guys maybe said, shit, man, in their head, I wish this guy got taken out. They're probably in their head, damn, I wish this guy got taken out, man. A lot of the military people who don't want to be in the war, they're probably saying, shit, man, I wish this guy got taken out. But even if he got taken out, it would be Vance. J.D. Vance would be right there still. J.D. Vance. He's the first. They took J.D. Vance off the stage before Donald Trump. Let me tell you guys that. That's to show you who has the knowledge or the power. They took J.D. Vance off the stage. Let me say it again. Off the stage before Donald Trump. And then they went for Donald Trump after J.D. Vance was off the stage. You see Donald Trump still around the table. They jump on Donald Trump. He falls on the floor, and then they take him out. Meanwhile, most of the room on the stage is already gone. And then they return to the ballroom after the shooting. After the shooting, they return to continue. Think of that. After the shooting, they return to continue a crime scene where they gotta go look for the bullets. Ask yourself that question. It's a crime scene. No matter what event it is, wouldn't they cancel that event? A big time attempted shooting happens. Bullets didn't really hit anybody. It hit one person, I think the security guard. But you're gonna continue the dinner? That shows you some type of shit is going on. Of course, back to business, not them. Yeah, so they go back to continue talking after the big shooting happens. They continue the dinner. Man, you know what? This AI or whatever they've been doing on the internet, they know that they've been brainwashing people. They actually are controlling the algorithm, the narrative. They know they have won over people's heads, and that's why they throw a lot of shit. We're living in a real dangerous time, people. Expense dinner can't cancel that. Normally, though, when something like that happens, remember, 8 shots went off. Not one shot. This guy didn't stop him. 8 bullets or so. So they should be looking for those things. People could have died, right? Normally they would cancel something like that, right? And then Donald Trump is saying, we got to fix this. We got to have a more secure ballroom for these types of things next time. Next time, you know what they're doing? This is the most dangerous stuff. They're testing the security of America. Now, everyone out there, they're testing how secure this so-called national security or secret service, or do they really care about Donald Trump? They're testing it, because if that guy could go through and do what he was doing, a lot of other people could go through and do the same, if not worse. This man bought a whole bunch of weapons, people. A whole bunch of legal guns in America. A whole bunch of guns, right? So he's not breaking the law by buying these guns. He's not breaking the law by hating Donald Trump. The only thing what he broke a law is going to the event with his legal. So he's not going to get charged for having a legal gun. Remember, he's educated. He's not going to get charged for having a legal gun, because he could have a legal gun. The thing what he's going to get charged with is the dangerous use of the weapon and his plans of what he was going to do. That's what he's going to get charged with, not an illegal gun. So endangering people, he will be charged with endangering the endangerment of people. And then he will be charged with whatever he's been writing of threats about Donald Trump, right? And more. So this is going to go over to other people now. Remember, he was at a correspondent meeting, dinner for journalists, the same journalists he doesn't like, right? So for sure now, the conspiracy theorists or the other people who ever talk and say this was fake and stuff, this was all set up, he's gonna attack them. He already attacked some people already. He attacked a journalist recently. Was it 60 Minutes or something like that? They were asking him about the guy who, I guess, the reason he was, targeted. He didn't like that they brought up how he was talking about the war. Was it the war? I'm trying to remember what Donald Trump got. And about the allegations, the sexual, grape allegations. This guy basically is mad about Trump like thousands of millions of people in America. This is proof that there's a lot of Americans who don't want this guy to be the president. Now, the MAGA people, or his MAGA movement, there's still some supporters, but he lost millions of them. A lot of them are turning their backs on Donald Trump right now, and maybe he doesn't even give a damn because he's using them, but millions of them are turning their backs on him. So in return, I think he's going to get more strict on something. He's going to get more strict on something. This guy is going to face some time. Like I said, if I was his attorney, defense, I would plead insanity, say it's insanity. But you have to think, what made a person like this, who looked very educated, has a job, really get so angry to want to go take the law or whatever, take take a life just because of politics, right? You take people's lives because you don't like the man. That's what's going on. He went to take people's lives because he doesn't like Donald Trump and what he's been saying. There's thousands of millions of people who don't like what Donald Trump is saying. They're not going to do that, but there probably will be some copycats. 100%. There will be some copycats who's going to copy. So he's ready for that. Right? That's why he believes. You know what Donald Trump believes? Anybody who's mentally ill, not there, they should be in an insane asylum. So he's kind of promoting, if you're not right in your head, you should be in an insane asylum. So is this guy, if he pleads insanity, going to be in an insane asylum? Whatever, as they claim? We shall see. But some people in the beginning, when I was saying this is staged, they might say, what are you talking about? They got the guy. I remember someone saying, oh, they got him. Does that mean that this guy, it wasn't staged? Does it mean it wasn't staged? Yeah, people know about, if people know about something is about to happen, it could be dangerous, it could be safe. That means it's staged. They knew this guy was coming. They knew he was coming. Right? But this is the funny thing, is the bullets, what he let off, didn't hit anybody. 8 bullets. That's one time. Boom, 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 boom. It keeps going. That's a good amount of time. 8 shots and he didn't get unalive. They didn't blow his head off. Whew. Damn. What kind of Secret Service is that? The Secret Service is the service, they knew this guy was traveling from California. Right? They knew he was traveling from California. The family alerted the law enforcement long time ago. They alerted the law enforcement a long time ago, people. So I know people later on are going to come to their senses and realize that this, it doesn't make no sense. Put 2 and 2 together. How is it that this man alerted, I mean, not this man, his family was talking to the law enforcement. And for days, if not a week or more, they knew he was coming to Washington. They knew he was going to be going to, this correspondent dinner. Right? I didn't know about this until Saturday. This guy obviously was following everything what Trump is doing his investigations, where this guy is going to go. So he knew to go to this ballroom thing in Washington. Right? And by the time he was there, and he was in a hotel, the family told law enforcement way before. So do people have sense nowadays? Like, did they tell, unless they're going to have the story that the family told the law enforcement near the time he went to do the attempted assassination. A lot of this stuff should be secret because it's making them look stupid. A lot of this stuff shouldn't even be public because it doesn't look good. Anybody with common sense like me is going to see through this shit. The family knew for days, told law enforcement, a man who was traveling for days, was in a hotel, right, the Hilton or something, for a couple days, and he had his weapons already ready, and then he went to do the storming. So, for a week, the government knew that this guy was going to do this shit. Why did they let him go through? Because they got an agenda and an example to tell the American people that they're gonna show an example what they're gonna do to this guy. Right? They're gonna show an example because they know there's more people out there who are gonna do this. So far, the people who try to unalive Donald Trump are not foreigners. They're not Muslims. They're not terrorists. So far, at the thing in Minneapolis, Minnesota, what happened? The people who got unalived are American citizens. It's not the people who was protesting or whatever were American citizens, not foreigners. So why is Donald Trump and the American government hopefully they clarify it, targeting people like who are not from America as the people who are the terrorists when it's the own American people who are the terrorists? You know why? Because it's very scary for the American citizens to know that there's Americans, born Americans, right, with no stereotype, out there ready to do terror attacks. And it's based off of Donald Trump. It's not based off of anything but this guy. Right? So, when people start to have some sense, or people are going to give out info and make it clear, like I am doing, is a threat. 100%. I think they've been doing some filtration. I've been warning people for the last couple of weeks, right? Because I've been on my live. I seen them in my live. I seen them play with one of my live streams more than one time, playing with my live streams. So obviously I must be a threat. D2E Down to Earth Network. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. If you want to search for some sense, common sense, right? You come down to earth. Because I know there's going to be a lot of these conspiracy theorists and they're going to be talking all these other stories, but I'm telling you what it is. Unless his family, what's named Cole Allen Thompson or whatever, unless his family was telling the law enforcement that same day and night what this guy was going to do, then it's another story. But it doesn't sound like that. It seems that they knew about this for a good week or more. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. They knew about this for a good while. So you cannot trust this guy. He lies. They lie. This administration is full of liars. Full of liars, man. You could just look at them. They know it's bull crap. So the one major picture they had is this guy tied or him on the floor basically with no shirt or whatever, right, on the ground. So this guy, his life is finished. Like, really, you're going to do something like this, your life is finished. But this guy's educated, so he knows something that we don't know. He's probably going to try to plead insanity, 100%. That's his only defense. Plead insanity, go with the narrative what Donald Trump was saying, that this guy's sick and everything, so you could get off with this insanity stuff. The most he'll get is a year or two in prison, but with this insanity stuff, if he has a good lawyer, he could get off. But Donald Trump wants an example. Maybe when Donald Trump is finished being the president, maybe he will have a chance. But there's going to be an example and no one's an idiot. It was staged, but the confusion is that they're gonna say, oh, he went on his own doing this shit. Yes, he went on his own doing this, but when I mean that the government staged this, Donald Trump and all of them, they knew he was coming, so they said, let him come. Let him drive with, like, we know what he's saying online or talking. Let him, you know, we heard he purchased guns. Let him come all the way from California. Do not stop him. They could have apprehended him a long time ago. Believe me, they could. If they know all this shit and in devices, they could have took him up a long time ago and arrested this individual. But they waited for him to actually leave from Cali, and I think he drove all the way to, I heard it was Chicago. I don't know why they brought up Chicago, but I know he was in Washington. Got a hotel, had all these guns legally, and stormed the ballroom. And never got not one shot in his ass. Right? Not a shot. I'm thinking this guy got, before I knew who this guy was, his name and everything, I'm thinking that this guy got unalived. Whoever tried that got unalived, or they got their ass shot. No, that didn't happen, people. That did not happen. It didn't happen. The guy's around. So now, national security is going to be stronger than ever. Because it looks weak. National security in America looks weak now. It looks very weak. Because this is the fourth assassination attempt on Donald Trump. The fourth assassination attempt on Donald Trump. This is a record going. 4 times. There's probably other times we don't hear about. But this is 4 public attempts. Am I forgetting any? And this is the thing. You don't know about those other people. I think the last live what I've done when I talked about the Mar-a-Lago assassin, I said his name. I don't know why I still don't have it. It's still buffering, man. This been a couple weeks. I can't save it. They said it's not available. It's just buffering. It's just buffering. I can't save it. It's not available. What did I say on that? The guy's not underage. I think he was 19 or 20 years old. The last guy who tried to do something at his Florida estate. All I said is something similar like now. Right? Something similar like now. People been talking about stage assassination for a couple months now, from the one before he became the president again. Remember that? That brought sympathy. So this one now is making, damn, they're really after this guy. They're really after Trump. Remember, this guy, Donald Trump, said the main reason he went to Iran. 2 things he said. He changes it up. He's a friggin' liar. The first thing he said is because of the people. You remember that? The people are getting hurt. And then 2, he said they tried to assassinate him. Even Vance brought that up. He said the reason one of the assassinations was Iran. Iran was behind one of those assassination attempts. Then how come we don't hear about who's the people from Iran who tried? Where's the suspects? If you're blaming Iran for attempted assassination, when did that happen? And where's the suspects? You see that this administration is lying. Every administration lies, but this one is deadly. He said that, you remember what I just said there? Iran is one of the reasons they went to there because of attempted assassination. In America, probably. So who are these individuals? Because if it's from Iran, right, you're basically saying they're terrorists. Let's be straight up. He didn't even say it's terrorists. They just said the only one reason they went to war is because they tried to threaten them. So before they get him, he got them. You remember that, what Trump said? He said before they got him, he got them. He got them. That's why he deleted, right? I like that word you reminded me. He deleted the supreme leader. That's why the supreme leader got deleted, because of the so-called attempted assassination on Donald Trump. Right? So the algorithm, they're doing something I've been saying for weeks, and I see it now, that they're doing something to the information, what's going out there online, on the net, on Instagram, on YouTube, on wherever they can, filter it out of common sense to give you people. I'm seeing them doing it now, right? That's why I'm testing. It's an early one, people. Early down to earth network episode. So do you guys believe this is actually a real assassination attempt? People say, you're crazy. Of course it's real. Yes, it's real. But when I mean staged, they're saying, how is this staged? If this guy actually went out there and he bought the weapons and he was going after Trump. What I mean, though, is it's staged by the American government because they could have stopped his ass. That's how I'm clarifying it. What I mean by stage, the American government knew this guy was coming and let him go. So that means it's staged, meaning they could have stopped him, but they allowed him to keep playing around. So they allowed him to keep driving all the way to Washington, have a hotel for a couple days, and have his weapons, and actually go past national security or whoever with a gun and not be unalived. Kept alive. Kept alive. And he's black. I'm straight up. In America, normally in a lot of situations, they would have deleted him quick. Right? Because, right, he's a light-skinned guy, but I mean, he's black. They would have deleted him quick. Right? Bro, we are not even halfway through the year. What's coming next? They're playing the people's face. Yes, man. OG Kicks, you see it on here. At least you are big. Much respect to you. Got to give you support. Much respect. You witnessed a lot of things, right? You're a moderator. You witnessed a lot of things, even on this live. You seen how they knocked out my lives, how they played with shit, right? Like right now, they're playing with my algorithm, right? But I'm on Spotify too, and all podcast platforms. Right now, they're playing with the algorithm, something I warned people months ago what they're up to. I warned people months ago. You could go to episodes in the past, and I've been telling you this is going to happen. I've been saying this is going to happen, right? Because all the stuff what he's doing. The last Assassin episode I talked about, I was such a threat that I can't even see that live. That live is still buffering because I must have said something sensitive. OG Kicks is a witness to that. I'm going to take a screenshot of that, and I'm going to post that up. Just to show. I have that live saved when they came into my live listening and they're talking. So this shows you the government is watching, which I do know. I do know that they're watching. But because I'm exposing their bullshit. And this is staged. But it's going to be a fight debate because they're going to people are going to say, what do you mean it's staged? Staged in a different way. Meaning they could have stopped the shit. So they made it keep going, the play. They made the play keep going. They could have stopped him from California. What made this guy so dedicated to go do what he has done? He has a good job. It seems like he gets he's not suffering financially. He's educated, right? So the excuse they're coming up with, he hates Christians. So what is he now? What are they going to try to say? He's Muslim? So they're saying he hates Christians. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Now, what's going to happen is anybody online who's talking, and I said it before about the TikTok and I'm tired of saying it, they are targeting you, especially if you are American. Damn, get ready for them to knock more doors in 100%. Let's see. Yes, get ready for them to knock in more doors 100% like this guy. Next time, they're not going to just wait for you to come all the way to Washington. They're just going to knock in a whole bunch of doors and say, hey, you're talking about this and that about Mr. Trump, how you want to do this? Lock you up. Like secret police style. That's why they got the ice out. That's why they got the ice out, people. Not for undocumented citizens, for all of Americans. Any American who does like this guy was doing because he was talking against Trump is going to be definitely even more hardcore a target. They're coming. They're coming. Yes, they have a microscope on certain platforms. Yes. And now they probably came to me now. Now they have came to me. They have spotlighted me. I know that. Now they have came down to earth saying, yo, this brother's getting actually some of the algorithm. Shit, let's see what he been talking about. And then they go look, holy, he's been exposing some of this shit about the Epstein stuff. He's been educating people about this shit, right? Oh, damn, 11,000 views, 8,000 views, 7,000 views, 8,000 views. We can't make this guy get no more like this shit. We got him. He ain't talking about the nonsense about like what's out there in the media, like the Drake stuff and all the that rap stuff. This black guy's talking about politics and he's talking about world issues. Damn, we can't have that going on. Man, this guy should be talking about some rap and hip hop and some beef and stuff. Oh damn, he's not smoking a spliff. He's not high on YouTube. He's not smoking anything. So we could say that he's crazy. Damn, is it reverse psychology? If I smoke a spliff now, it will go up. Will that work? Guess what? I'm not doing any of that. So yeah, yes, yes. Truth equals spotlight, and I've been given the truth. The MAGA haters I see come on from I started the campaign when Trump started his bull crap. They were on here a lot saying Trump is king, saying Trump is God. It's like they come out at a certain time. They all silent now. What are they all saying about Trump? They are quiet, silent. No more Trump talk anymore. MAGA's lost. So now there's a civil war in America. Don't worry about the war he's doing. Well, you should worry about it, but that's going on still. But there's a civil war in America going on right now. Right? So the ICE, you remember they're quiet. Don't you see how they play with you guys? The algorithm. The ICE was doing all this stuff in Minnesota. They got people wild up. Everybody was crazy, angry. I seen the racial divide in America. I seen the racial divide come out huge. It was nasty how people were going at, and you know what? Some of it I have to admit, I have to agree with certain things, but not the racist stuff. But you could see when it was Minnesota, how people were saying, get out of America, talking about the Somalis and a whole bunch of stuff. I seen it. That was cooking. People was talking about them. And now, look, after they unalive 2 white Americans down there, Donald Trump, solid. Let's get the hell out. We got to switch this shit. We got to switch this war. We got to switch this. It's too much. They're starting to get mad. People are starting to protest more in the streets. So let's start the war. Epstein stuff. It worked. They got you. They got you. Start the war. Epstein stuff. They got you. Right? So there's a lot of things coming up, and this is a distraction. This attempted assassination is 100% a distraction, and what's coming next, I already know. Remember what I said, what's coming next. The war's not done, people. Let me remind the Americans and the world. The war's not finished. Let me say it again. The war's not done. Even though they killed the algorithm or they're trying to silence the algorithm down, it's not going to work. Because what's going to happen now is Trump and them knows what's going on. Right? Now they're going to do the attack. Either today or sometime in the week. Now, because these guys ain't gonna, they're not agreeing with America. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. I'm hearing it's still closed. Every day it's closed. It's costing billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, right? America already has to pay back for the terrorists, right? They're already paying back for the terrorists. Over what, $166 billion. Trump had to hand back that money back to the people it was affected. Not American people though. But he had to hand that back. Supreme Court forced him. So no one's hearing about that story. You see, I could count a lot of stories that is going over the world's head and the American's head what Donald Trump is doing. Meanwhile, this is the great algorithm. Who shot you? That's why I call this episode Who Shot Ya? The reason I called it that is because you should know who this guy. Now they're going to make you know who this guy is. Now people are going to know who this guy is. But the guys prior don't know who they are. You don't know who those people are. Isn't it? You know why I said this? I called it in certain situations. Hate to bring it in a race thing, but this is how America is, black and white. I called it. I said, if Donald Trump gets attempted assassination, right, and it's a Caucasian who does it, it's not going to be big. You're not going to hear anything about it. But soon as, if it's a black man or somebody of color, or if they're from the Middle East, it's going to get talked about everything. You're going to know about his childhood. You're going to know which school he went to. You're going to know how he's educated. You're going to know where he worked. You're going to know about his girlfriend. You're going to know about his family. You're going to know a whole bunch of shit about this guy. But the last guy, like I said, in Mar-a-Lago, you don't know anything about him. You don't know anything about that guy. That guy had a big plan. He had a big plan right there. Got unalived right on the property of Mar-a-Lago. Unalived. Took him out. And let me repeat, that stream that I was doing, I can't access it. So this shows you, and there's people talking, not just me, but that shows you certain people who really hit a nerve and talk about this assassination stuff is a threat to national security. Candace Owens, when she comes on, Alex Jones, when he comes on, and he talks about this, which will be like a conspiracy. So people will listen, but Donald Trump already targeted them. He already targeted them, right? See, he has plans for them. But in regards to other content makers, right now, I could see, even on my platform, they're putting some type of blockage on it. I know. I could see the difference, right? As I'm streaming. I see the difference. I could see the difference. That's why I do different timings. Because you gotta kind of try to fake them out. I see the difference, how they're playing with the algorithm, what they will block out. If you use certain names, keywords, they will block out the algorithm. They're doing it right now, here, right as I'm speaking. I could tell, right? So, this story, like I'm saying, was staged. I believe it's staged. The guy really is probably angry, doesn't like Donald Trump, but staged by the American government, meaning that they knew all along about this guy's travels, and they could have stopped him, but they allowed him to travel all the way from California, all the way to Washington, book a hotel, and even get through the security with with his guns, and they didn't even stop him with their guns. 8 shots went off. He didn't catch one bullet. So you guys gotta look through the bullshit. Look through the bull crap, as I'm saying it. And like I said, this is an early one. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is an early one, but they are definitely blocking shit. I know that. 100%. Right? No matter what time I go, if I'm going to talk about this guy, Donald Trump, right now, especially with this guy with his face, Cole Allen Thompson or whatever his name is, it's going to be what people used to call shadow banned. It's going to be blocked. Blocked. But I'm hoping, oh, and another guy who he got under his wing, he was a conspiracy theorist, but he's friends with Donald Trump, and he kind of censored him undercoverly. His name is Joe Rogan. If you got the biggest podcaster in the world who is a conspiracy theorist, but in the last couple of months, ever since Trump became the president, he doesn't talk about against the president. Let me say it again. Joe Rogan, the biggest podcaster in the world, known for his controversy and talking about conspiracies. Ever since Trump became the president, he doesn't really talk against him. The last time he talked against him was ICE, and then he switched back up. He's in the White House kissing Donald Trump's ass because of psychedelics or whatever. He wants that to go through because he probably takes them himself. But this guy's not talking about anything what Donald Trump's been doing for the last, whatever, half a year, which is ridiculous. And he has a podcast that is getting millions and millions and millions of views. And he's supposed to be, quote unquote, a conspiracy theorist. And this thing, what happened recently, is he going to say this is organic? Is he going to say this is real? Because I'm telling you, whoever listens to Joe Rogan or watches Joe Rogan, because he's with Donald Trump and his campaign, I wouldn't believe nothing he's saying. I wouldn't even want to watch him anymore, because if you are not talking nothing about Donald Trump, what he's been doing ever since he's been the president and before, and you just because you want to be friends with him and you're kissing his ass and you're going to UFC whatever fights with him and stuff, you're guilty. You're guilty, man. I broke it down. How much people are gonna break this down that this is some fake shit? And they're always gonna come up, hey man, you're crazy. How is this fake, man? I mean, how is this staged? How is this staged? They don't look on the big picture. I always look on the big picture. How is this staged? This guy was crazy. So if he's crazy now, so he gets the insanity plea. He could plead insanity. Oh, he's crazy. So pick one. He's crazy or he's not crazy. Because if he's crazy now, like Trump was saying, this guy gets the plead insanity. If he's not crazy now, then what? But Donald Trump is claiming, or not Donald Trump, the Secret Service or the intelligence is saying they knew the family contacted them. So if the family contacted them a long time ago, how is this not staged? They knew about the stuff. You stop it. If it's very dangerous, you're going to stop all of this. He should have never continued to even get past California. But he got past California. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. He got past California, went all the way to Chicago, and then he went, to Washington. So this is crazy, people. This is crazy. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. People are scared to talk. I think people realized in America right now, they got no freedom. under this guy, especially under this guy. I think a lot of Americans realize I better shut up my mouth and not say nothing, especially if you're an influencer, if you're in power, because he's attacking the media. So if you are a big media person, you better shut the hell up against Trump. I've noticed people online, especially a lot of Americans, they don't say nothing. They're like silent. People I know who are, people I know, they're not saying anything. A lot of music artists, silent. A lot of people who are in the media, silent. The only one who they promote against Trump is Robert De Niro and two other people. But the majority who really have something against him, they're silent. So this show you a lot of people, sorry to say, are pussies. Because when he's not the president, then you're going to talk? Because right after Trump was finished and Biden came in, people had all types of things to say about Trump. They were talking so much shit about him after he didn't win the second term, right, like that. But now he's back. All those people who was talking all the shit when Biden was around about Trump, now they have nothing to say. Right? And he knows that. All of them are silent right now. Silent like a mouse. Not talking. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Not talking one bit. So, I done a deep dive onto platforms. I got the experience on platforms to see when they mark you, right? For example, we got an Instagram, Down to Earth Network Instagram. I remember this was about a year ago, and I'm going to try it again. When I put up the link for the Instagram in the details, I remember, and I'm going to try it again. They said, oh, this link cannot be used, right? It came up with some type of word. And when I looked up the word, it says this, whatever, profile, what did it say? Human rights are reported to something, some type of report shit, that the profile, our Instagram profile, could not be shown on the YouTube. So they could be doing the same shit. I'm guessing they could do the same stuff with YouTube down the line, right? So because I was sharing information on the Instagram for years, they marked it so that it would not, I guess that's the way they kind of shadow ban the shit. Because I'm on here right now. Just say, this will show you an example. It's 52 minutes. And I know the algorithm time of the high engagement. I actually know that. I do my research. So, why is it like this? And I've been seeing the pattern. I do test them. Why is it like this? Because there's people who can screw your algorithm up. Reports, and that could screw your algorithm up. YouTube will do that shit. Instagram too, right? So the information is sensitive information to them. Sensitive information. We're living in a new age where they were always watching, but the new age now, it could work against them. So now they just filter you out. And the powers that be who are behind these things, they say, you see that guy? For now, because we don't want to make it look obvious, let's block him out from all those thousands of people. Let's make sure no one watches this M, because if we block him out, it will discourage him from continuing. Nah, people, ain't doing that. I'll just upload this to my Spotify. We've been getting good on Spotify. Much respect to Million Podcast for making us the 6th in Canada conspiracy podcast. Number 7. Number 7, right? Over the top 10. Number 7. So, we're on Spotify. We're on all podcast platforms. You ain't stopping anything, but they do this to people who's a threat right now. And I'm live and direct telling you, right? So the algorithm, which I see, they're playing with. They're playing with the algorithm. They don't want the truth to go out there, right? So after this live, let's see if they're gonna keep this. I'm gonna go more deep. Let's see if they make this just buffer and I can't see it. Because that time, like I said, when I talked about the last assassination attempt, I didn't even realize that after that it was just buffering. It's still buffering. After what, a month or so, maybe more, it's still buffering. It's not saved. It's not available. Imagine that. It's not available. The one what I was talking about, Mar-a-Lago and him at the dinner. So are you guys going to do that to this one? Are you going to do that to this one? Let me say the guy's name. Who shot you is the title. The guy's name is Cole Allen Thompson. Right? I'm also hearing a static sound. Oh yeah, something's going on. Listen to the recording. Yeah, yes. Something's going on. They're gonna do a lot of stuff, man. This is just proof of whatever they're doing. I've been saying this way before I even been on these platforms. I've been aware way before I've been on these platforms. I've done music based on all of this shit. People would say, damn, you are paranoid. A lot of my music now, what I used to do, which I'm going to continue, it talks about all of this shit. And this is over, how long ago now? For a while, like a good, over way before Trump even existed. I'm talking over 20 years. I got some tracks now you think are talking about, well, it is talking about now. I knew about this shit a long time ago, what was going to happen. Right? I knew all of this was going to happen. This is part of the word, the bad word, right? Which I'm not going to say because every time I say it, they mark it onto YouTube. Every time I say it, it's like they punish you on the YouTube, right? The NWO, that's all I'm going to say. The NWO. This whole thing is the NWO. That's all it is, right? It's just now social media is available for people to see certain things. It's the NWO. That's what it is. When you talk about things like I talk and my cast talk, I wouldn't be surprised why they will block you. Why they will make sure they screw up your lives, your live streams. Why they will make sure only a couple viewers come through to see and listen. So maybe I'm in punishment right now. Punishment stages right now. That's what's going on. Punishment is going on because you say, yo, that's enough. Like I said, that's enough. We gave this guy a lot of time and now you see it. I see it. Right? So they want to say, this guy stays around. We know how long he stays around. He stays around for like an hour and 45 minutes or so. So let's try to discourage him by not giving him no audience. That's how they play. Let's not give this guy any audience and let's try to discourage him. No, that's not going to work, people. That's not going to work because I could still do pre-recording. I know how to do it. Right? I just haven't. But now, well, I have. But now I'm going to do more. And it'd be worse if I do some editing of videos and actually put the visuals in what I'm talking about. You want that? Because I could get like that, man. It's been a while since I've been using that, what's called the CapCut. You don't want me to be editing videos more and putting in like the videos of Donald Trump talking, right? Because I don't really like to use other people's content, but you don't want me to take Donald Trump talking and all the stuff I've been saying and put it together like a puzzle and edit a video. that will make you even look more worse. And that algorithm is hard to stop. That algorithm's hard to stop. The edited videos, that's hard to stop. The lives, you could stop that. You could play with my live streams. You can play with it, right? Because it's live. But the videos edited, no. Which I'm gonna start to do, people. But yeah, this episode is Who Shot Ya? That character, that guy is probably the most viral person right now. He's in court, I think this morning. They're doing his hearing and stuff like that. He's not getting no damn bail. If he's smart, he should plead insanity. Listen to what Donald Trump is saying he's sick in his head. So plead insanity, right? So you could get a softer charge because the president already said you're crazy. So go by that narrative. I told you guys earlier in this episode that is planned, meaning they knew everything was what was going to happen. They knew this guy's location. They were seeing stuff, what he was doing through, I guess, his devices, messaging his family and stuff like that. So they knew this guy was coming, right? But a lot of people will get confused to think otherwise. But I guarantee the sensible people out there that are on the net, other content makers, are going to come up with the same conclusion that this was staged and it's not real, right? And it's not real. Well, he's real, but I mean, they could have stopped this whole shit. The guy wanted to do harm to Donald Trump, but they could have stopped this way before it got that far. But no one's gonna be talking about that. That is controversial. That's guaranteed controversial. What are you saying, people? See, people are scared to talk about this. They probably, I think people are waking up after this weekend because the Michael Jackson movie was a big algorithm. The Drake stuff is a big algorithm. So those two stories, the Drake and the Michael Jackson, will overshadow a lot of things, right? It does overshadow a lot of things because people are talking about the Michael Jackson shit. People are talking about the Drake shit and other stuff. So this guy, who is a character now out in the media, should be the biggest story, which they are going to make a story. They are talking about where he is. You've seen pictures with him dressed up, teacher. You get what I mean? You've seen pictures of him all over the place. Like I said, educated. Was a tutoring young people. Many different degrees he has. So this is the thing. Anyone in America can be like this guy. Anyone. Thousands, millions could be like this guy. How much more Coles are there out there? How much more Coles exist out there? That's the question you need to ask. How much more Coles exist in America? They're like the cells. They're like a cell right now. They're like a cell. Imagine if this was to happen. And maybe this is a sensitive thing I'm about to say. Now they will call them terrorists. And it did happen before. Imagine Iran offers the Americans who hate Trump millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to come fight for them or fight for them. Imagine they were offering millions of dollars to certain people to fight for them. And they could do this through the cyber stuff. They could do this through cyber stuff. Now, this is a thing I'm going to tell you guys. Maybe this might get too down to earth. Since they've been hacking the FBI system. Imagine these guys who are hackers. They hack your phone one day. You have your phone. And they send a message to you and saying, we will send you thousands of dollars in your bank account. We will give you $1 million in your bank account if you do something for us. You know what I mean? Do something for us. They could do that. The hackers, why is America telling you that if the hackers hack the FBI system, that they could hack all of what's called Americans' systems? So that means these hackers could hack your accounts, they could message you and influence you, especially if you don't like Donald Trump. Do you think that they don't know there's a big population in America that don't like Donald Trump? Now, do you think that the videos that are pumping on Instagram and pumping everywhere, especially with the Lego stuff and making fun of Donald Trump, that they can't help, they can help push that algorithm? Because they're hackers. They're good with the computer. I'm guessing they could help push the algorithm like that. They can. They can push it. Hackers could push all the stuff to Americans to hate Donald Trump. That's what they're doing. A cyber war. But people, it's going over people's heads. It's going over people's heads. They're doing a cyber war right now on America. Now, when you see these videos, for example, these Lego stuff, because this is what led this guy to do what they're saying he was doing. His hatred for the administration he was targeting and Donald Trump. Now, check this. Those videos, what they've been putting out, right? Making fun of the government, American government, and Donald Trump. They've been using popular media to try to get people to watch them. And what they use is hip-hop. Rap. That's the biggest genre. So you have a lot of white children, a lot of everyone from every nation, but you know who makes it? You know, the black people. So they put that out as a campaign of the hatred of Donald Trump. So Americans, it's not for Iranians, it's for Americans to hate and see, to expose Donald Trump in that form of media by making fun of him. That's why they've done it. They've done that whole Lego stuff is to wake up Americans because that's the only way they feel they could communicate, or Americans will take in information is through media information like that. So they put the rap music, put Legos, which is kind of disrespect, Legos for children, Legos, illustrations. So now you'll be interested in what's going on in the war, right? So all this madness now, what's been going on, made this guy get angry, buy weapons, drive all the way to Washington, or go all the way to Washington, and then attempt to blast through that ballroom, the correspondent dinner, and has his hand on the gun, and he lets off 5 shots. 5 shots, people. I mean, 8 shots. Not 5. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And his ass didn't get 1 bullet in his ass. So it's like they wanted to capture this guy. They could have took him out. They could have took him out easily. And he's alive still? Black guy alive still? After trying to kill the president, as they claim? He's still alive? Yo, people, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. You seen what happened to black men on the street when they even have their hand in their pockets, or less. This guy, well, maybe because he's light skinned, I don't know. But this guy just pops through. He gets through, man, with the weapons. Nothing happens. Not unalive in his ass. Because you know why? They knew about this guy a long time ago. They knew, right? Like, share, people, please subscribe, man. Please subscribe. I'm trying to go out through the algorithm. They don't want this info to be out. And I'm going to punish you guys. Much respect, YouTube, but I'm punishing the algorithm. I'm not going anywhere now. I'm still here. I'm still here. They want the information to not go through. And why I'm telling you this, my last thing, when it was the last assassination attempt I had alive, it was only not even a half an hour. Not even a half an hour. Right? And I talked about the assassin. Right? And I must have brought up some details what really must have shaken their ass up. I'm trying to remember. Right? I must have scared YouTube. I must have scared YouTube. That was on a weekend. I remember talking about the Mar-a-Lago attempt. Talking about that. Donald Trump was at a dinner too. He was at a dinner. It always happened, both of these things, the recent ones happened at this guy was at the wrong location. He was in Florida. Trump was somewhere else eating, enjoying himself. He was at a gala. Now this one, the same thing. He's at a dinner for the correspondent, but this time this guy knew where he was. This guy done his research more. He done his research, people. He didn't just go anywhere. This guy done his research. So this guy Cole Allen Thompson, you're gonna hear all this stuff, his past girlfriends, his job, how he was. Everybody's gonna start to talk about him bad. Oh, or they're gonna say, I didn't know he was like that. They're gonna say, oh, this guy was strange. Oh, now we're hearing, oh, he's against Christians and stuff like that. His family was aware of it. Now you're gonna hear all this shit. But you're not hearing nothing about the guys who are unalived. I have to remind you. You don't hear nothing about the other 3 assassinations. This is the first time in history. I guess they're trying to fool the young people. This is the first time in history all these assassinations or attempted assassinations before this guy, you don't know anything about. They don't dig into it. It's nothing. It just happens and it goes away. It happens and it goes away. Don't you guys find that funny? The shit happens and it just goes away. It's like when he went to Venezuela and arrested the guy, the president, Maduro. It goes away. No one's talking about, well, how come you guys still have the president of Venezuela in America? It goes away. You see how they got people? The Epstein stuff. It's like yesterday. It's gone away. It's there still, but it's gone away. So I'm giving you proof how they brainwash people. It's really going on. They ain't brainwashing me, but they've brainwashed many. They've got you, people. They got many of you. Not all of you, but they've got you 100%. They fooling people because, you know what? I cannot blame it. Right? Proof. Yeah, the proof is right here. You know what the proof is? If you want to know about the so-called assassin guy, I got it for you. The proof. The story is how they're putting it. This guy just went all the way from California, went to Chicago, he went to Washington, booked a hotel, and then he went past the national security, right? Because he's so slick, and he went into the ballroom and just shot. And they didn't know about him. The proof is the family told law enforcement way before, right? That's the proof. You can look it up. Way before about this guy, about their family member. This guy wrote like a whole bunch of stuff to his family, right? Before he went. So they knew he was coming. That's why I learned over the couple years how some law enforcement work. They'll actually know about you, they'll watch you, and they won't do anything until you act. So they saw him coming. They said devices. They had devices, his devices, tracing him coming, and he bought guns, and he got through that ballroom. Right? Classic nut job. Yes, he's a nut. But don't think that the American government didn't know about him. That's why I'm saying there's different ways of staging shit. So if they could have stopped him, they could have stopped him. Like many other stories, they're saying there's probably stories we don't know about. They could have stopped this guy. Why did they let him go through? Because they want an example on the media. They want to show an example. They could have stopped this guy. Why did they allow him to keep going, driving from California all the way to Washington? Why? They watched this guy. His family kind of exposed everything. His family said they warned law enforcement way before. So they said, hey, let's just make this guy. You know what? Trump has said, this guy's coming to try to assassinate us. You know what? Make him come. And when he comes, okay, more even risky, make him go through national security and the security. On the camera, this is the worst thing. They should not make you see the film. Because when you see the film, or the camera, you see this guy running through with a gun and four people, four, five, six, I don't know how much guys have a weapon on him, the target, and they don't shoot his ass. They got it. He ran right through and went into the ballroom and still let off 8 shots and still didn't shoot his ass, and no one got shot. Only a security guard, they're saying. Not even critical. A security. When you look on the stage, when this all happened, that's why I like that social media is around. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing. When you look on the stage, and I know people are going to make fun of this soon, you see Trump. He's the last guy to be took into safety. He's the last one, right? You see Vance getting dragged. They drag Vance off stage like this. You see all the other people going through they took him out. I'm saying, this is weird. I don't know if anybody didn't notice this. Trump was still around the table, and then they jump on Trump after everybody's off. So, they knew the guy kind of looks like Steph Curry. Yeah. The a light skin guy, but he's still black, right? A scene out of Hollywood. Yes, man. So that's why I'm still hitting. I'm always gonna hit the point. This is the point I'm trying to hit the most. That they knew about it. They knew about the shit, and you should expose. People like me, they don't want to expose. They're killing my algorithm right now. This was planned, sealed, and delivered. Okay, this is what I'm going to bring up. Because they're going to say, oh, are you saying that he was working with the government? Are you saying he was working with the government? No. When you talk about JFK's assassination, you know what the conspiracy theories bring up, or certain people bring up? They're saying this guy was brainwashed. They're saying and I swear they say there's 2 other people or whatever. They're saying the guy was brainwashed. Who assassinated JFK? They said he was brainwashed. The what's called the Russians brainwashed him or some shit like that, right? Like America didn't know he was coming. Like they brought conspiracies. They have conspiracies where they believe that the government knew he was going to be assassinated. Right? So what I'm trying to say, this high-tech government who polices everywhere, they knew this man was coming, and it's a perfect scene, especially in war times, to bring sympathy to Donald Trump. That's why Donald Trump became the president, because before he was fully there was an assassination attempt, and he looked like a hero. Oh, I survived. But now, what he's going to do, people, you know what this guy's going to do? Remember, I keep saying, what's next? What do you think is going to come next? What do you think is going to come next? I already know what's coming next. I've been saying what's coming next, right? TikTok, people, everybody, But especially the TikTok, because he got the muscle on the TikTok. TikTok people, and I think they're more smart. To, I'm thinking they're more smart. Because it's like I said, hundreds of millions there's over 200 million people from America on that app. I'll say it again. I don't know if anybody's still continuing, but if you are on TikTok, don't say nothing about Donald Trump. Don't say nothing about Donald Trump. Because if you're American, right now, you better shut the F up. You best to shut up. Because he's going to say anybody who talks about me and has this angry spirit like this guy, they're a danger to national security. That's the next thing they want to put. If you talk about Donald Trump in any way, you are a danger to national security. He said it already recently to a journalist. He was sitting down for an interview. Right? You could see how he's talking. They brought up the allegations and how he answered them. He was very angry. He said he'd been clear of it. And when he was angry, he said, you know who's the people you should be asking about the Epstein stuff? The Democrats. So just say Donald Trump is innocent in certain things, right? And then, like I said, there's a civil war within America. He's blaming he's saying the Democrats are the dirty ones who was involved with the Epstein file. I mean, the Epstein stuff. He's saying it's the Democrats is the ones you guys should be grilling more about the Epstein files. So just say that's true, right? Because this is all linked. This assassination, war is all linked. Now, just say it's true. He's saying the Democrats are the dirty MFs you guys should be looking for. So just say it's true. The Democrats don't like that. If some of those guys are Democrats who are involved in Epstein stuff and they don't want to be locked up, they're going to do dirty work. And they're going to send people after Donald Trump. Donald Trump's been blaming Obama and the Democrats for sabotaging his elections from before. There's been rumors how he wants to lock up how Donald Trump wants to lock up Obama. There's recently in the last 2 days, if you guys don't know, with Kash Patel, the FBI Kash Patel, and Donald Trump were saying how they're going after certain people in politics to arrest them because of some type of shit what went on with his elections and stuff like that. Election, like there's a way of defamation trying to screw him up. So it screwed up why he didn't become the president the second time in a row. So he is talking about that, right? So a lot of things are going on. A lot of things is going on. And distractions. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Right? This is an early one. It's the Down to Earth Network, the Down to Earth podcast. And everything I say is hard to debate. Right? It's very hard to debate. Seeing out of Hollywood. It's very hard to debate me with this. I know a lot of people with sense are going to say the same thing unless they were warned exactly that same night about the individual. If they weren't warned that same night, that means it's all staged. He doesn't have to know. It's them putting him in the stage, thinking that he could get through. They made him think that he could do the whole mission. The law enforcement didn't stop him from California if they knew. They didn't stop him in the hotel if they knew. So they knew. So all the people were put in danger as a sacrifice in the ballroom. Think of it. If they knew, the Secret Service, which I just gave you guys the evidence, I just told you guys with the commentary, if they knew those people in the ballroom finding out that the Secret Service knew this guy was on a radar, they should be suing Donald Trump. All those people, when their life was at risk, they should sue Donald Trump or the government. Because if you have intelligence of this guy way before and you allowed him to come in a crowded place, well, it's like you allowed him in a way. You allowed him. and he shot 8 times. Yo, all those people in the ballroom should be suing Donald Trump or the government because they could have been shot, right? They actually could have taken this guy out way before. They didn't need him to come all the way to Washington from California. Imagine that. Why all the way from California to Washington? All the way from California to Washington. So what's the news now? What are they going to change up with the story? How long is this story going to be allowed to be viral? How long will it be allowed to be viral? Right? Until something else happens. Because people are going to dig it up like I'm digging it up. They're going to put the pieces to the puzzle the same way. So do you want someone big, Donald, to talk about it? Right now you got Joe Rogan under your hand, so he ain't going to be talking about it. He might talk about it, but he has to be careful because you're friends, Joe Rogan, you're friends with Donald Trump, so you got to kind of be, kind of chill with that. You can't really talk too much because if you talk too much, your show will be canceled probably, right? Or he'll call you out like Alex Jones and Candace Owens and saying that you, all types of stuff, right? So right now, that's the algorithm they put out. I was saying a couple of days ago how I noticed how they calmed down on the reports of the Middle East. Donald Trump, somebody's went into his ear and said, you know what, you've done enough talking about the war and your threats. Could you please stop talking about it? We got it. We're going to do what you want, but we need you to stop talking about it. The last thing, what happened is Kushner, his son-in-law, and 2 other people, they were in Pakistan they were supposed to go to Pakistan, and he told them, no, don't go. You're not going to meet with them anymore. Basically, no more talking, right? That happened not too long before this whole fiasco with the assassination attempt. So America, let me just remind you right now, for the ones who are lost and the algorithm, things are getting covered up. America's still at war. Let me remind you. America is still at war. It's not over. Just because you don't see no bombs coming. It's not over. But there will be something coming. Something is coming. I don't want to say it. I'm not... That maybe they will cut this shit. But something is coming. Something is coming. They're going to do... Okay. And this is relate because this guy probably watches a lot of stuff too online. The guy who's done the assassination. Right? Or attempted assassination. Now, as I was saying in the other live, right? Because I'm going to tell you this. It's war, civil war in America, civil war international with America. Now, what I'm about to tell you is years ago when Obama was in charge, and they did have issues with Iran, they had a cyber weapon called Stuxnet. Stux, S-T-U-X net. And they used this cyber weapon to knock out the nuclear facilities in Iran, or to mess them up. And it worked. They're saying that the machines, what they're using to make uranium, destroyed themselves. So they didn't need to bring any troops and weapons all over to the Middle East. All they needed to do is press some buttons and dismantle and damage their nuclear program right there in the Middle East. So why is America in the Middle East if Obama himself, they set some thing to make them basically malfunction? Obama set up they had a system, a cyber thing to malfunction. But now you're hearing cyber attacks hit America. FBI. So that means if they could mimic the same thing America has done to them, imagine what Iran could do to America. The same thing. Imagine if they could do the same thing. They could access America's nuclear program like they did to them. And remember, I gotta remind you guys again, remember, Obama and his wife released a movie based on something like this. Cyber security. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna look it up. I used to hear about it years ago. I didn't watch it. I wasn't interested in watching a president who produced or direct a movie. I will look it up. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. If you know the movie Obama was put and his wife put out, put it in the chat, because they put a movie out focused on the cyber attack or something with the internet, and that's the same shit that Obama done to Iran. No one knows about this, eh? You gotta look. It's called Stuxnet. Stuxnet. Look it up, because they're fooling people. You see how much things go over people's heads, right? I look into the politics. I do my research in this political game, right? Stuxnet. That could happen to America. This guy, obviously, who they captured, has been frustrated with America and Donald Trump for a good while. He doesn't like Donald Trump. A lot of people don't like Donald Trump. But, boy, restart the password required after you restart the device. So, yo, what's next is not going to be good. That's what I'm going to tell you. What's next is them taking away more of your freedom, especially in America. That's what's next. What's next is a big police state. That's what's next. This man is thinking, damn, if this guy came to like this, which, nah, I shouldn't say he's thinking like that, but you should be thinking like that, that there's a whole bunch of other people just like this guy who don't like you and wants to take your life. So all those people in the administration, they're probably scared for their lives now. Everybody, Vance, the vice president, the first lady, all of these figures, the top figures, they all scared for their life. They have to have round all the time security. They need security 100% all the time around them, because if this guy done it, how much other people are thinking about it? Millions, probably. There's over 300 and something million people. Remember what I said. 300 and something million people in America. Guaranteed there's a couple 100,000 that think the same way like Mr. Cole, what's his name again? I forgot his damn name. I just know it's Thompson. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This is the Down to Earth Network, the Down to Earth podcast. We're on Spotify podcasts, Apple podcasts, iHeartRadio, all podcast platforms, right? What you're saying, people, like I said, there's no freedom of speech, 100%. They can't filter out the information and who's talking against them, like they are doing right now. They've been doing it since I started this live. They've been doing it for the last month, I would be saying, for What's now? All of March, they've been trying to catch me at certain times and filter out the system. But it's not working. The information is out there. I got many episodes, people. Many episodes. Believe me. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What you're saying? Like, this guy is just getting known now, right? The weekend was here. A lot of people are tired. He's getting known now. So this guy's name is just getting known right now. We're just finding out that this guy's name is Cole Allen Thompson. Finding out that he's from America, American citizen, 31 years old. A young guy. He's young, 31 years old, and he's angry at Donald Trump. How much more people are angry at Donald Trump for all of this shit? What's he been doing? There's a lot of people angry with him, man. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. But what's next is this guy's going to attack Iran now. It's off the table. All the chips are off the table. The only thing for him to do is to attack, because that was one of his major excuses for going there, is because they tried to assassinate him. That's the words what I was hearing from him when he and Vance. They're saying that Iran attempted to assassinate Donald Trump, and that's why he's down there, because of an assassination attempt. So the next big news is attack. The military, American military, is going to attack. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear about something today. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear about something tonight. Get ready for it. Get ready for a major attack on Iran. No more talking. I don't think Trump is going to talk about negotiations anymore. I don't think we're going to hear Vance talk about no more negotiations. I think it's finished. They should have done what they were saying from the beginning and stopped Trump from talking a long time ago. They should have just went in there and stopped the damn talking, and this negotiations just made you guys look like losers. But negotiation, you're saying that they are terrorists first and now you're negotiating with them. Doesn't make no sense. Make it make sense. They're either terrorists or they're a normal government. Which one is it? Right? So now you look like a damn fool even more. Someone tried to kill you, an American citizen, tried to unalive you, even though you guys knew what was coming. And now you're stuck in a war. How much weeks did he say you're going to come out of this war? 4 weeks or so. 4 or 5 weeks, you're out of the war. What? You're still in the war. You're still in the war. And it's not easy like that first to just come out of the war. You got thousands of soldiers in the Middle East. Are they going to leave anytime soon? No. The Strait of Hormuz is closed, causing global catastrophe with energy. It's closed. They got the control, Iran. They let who they want through. The other day, they said Iran fired on a couple of ships, American ships. Are you hearing about it? No. You're not hearing nothing about it. Nothing about that. About them firing on some ships. Why? Because it makes America look weak. The Strait is closed. Is it open? Where's all that tough talk about? Where's all the tough talk? They're doing a blockade, America. A blockade, but it's closed. Don't you guys want it open? I thought Trump wants it open. I thought he's forcing it open. There's a blockade there. So the rest of the world is angry at America, the ones who depend on the strait. Lies. So now the confusion or the distraction is out there. 100%. Good work, man. Good work putting together the distraction. It has worked real good, the distraction. The distraction is really good. They said, yo, this guy, let's make him keep coming our way He's a perfect distraction for the media so people could talk about this guy. Meanwhile, you guys keep doing whatever Israel and us, let's just keep cooking up what we're ready to do with Iran, right? This story with this guy, American terrorist, let's make it go. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this guy trying to attempt to get rid of us. And then he could villainize the Democrats. This is a perfect opportunity to villainize the Democrats, kind of saying that this guy's Democrat, he's a Democrat, saying that he's against God or against Christians. So Donald Trump is making a narrative that the Democrats are against Christians. Really? The Democrats are against Christians. So he's going after Democratic politicians. He wants Obama locked up 100%. He has a big beef with Obama. He wants him locked up. I'm wondering why Obama did not do any defamation against Donald Trump. You guys have to really look on it. Why didn't Obama or his wife do any defamation against Donald Trump? Are they there? That's to show you they're scared themselves. Are they waiting until he's finished being a president? He knows something we all don't know. Obama. He knows something we all don't know, because you would think that he would, Obama and his wife would sue Donald Trump right now for all of that shit what he has done. You got to look on it. I would think that they would sue his ass, but they didn't. They didn't sue him. Obama knows something. He can't do nothing until this guy's finished being the president. He knows it. They didn't sue him. Look on that, people. That is something you should look on. Right? So, right now, like I said, they've been filtering out the system out there in social media land, YouTube land. They've been doing their filtration so certain information does not go out to the people, but this is going out to the people. I will chop it up, do all types of things, right? Because I know they're frigging with the algorithm. I know they're playing with the algorithm. And this guy, like I said, they got Americans scared right now. You should be scared. It's a new era. You got to listen to the man. You got to listen to Donald Trump, right? All of you got to listen to Donald Trump. He's made America into more of a police state, more than ever. You got the ICE ready, watching. I told you guys over and over and over and over and over and over again that ICE has a contract. They got a contract with surveillance companies, or they're looking for contracts with surveillance companies so they could surveillance American citizens and watch you guys even more. So meaning that a guy like this, they've been watching. They've been watching. A guy like this, they would be watching, wait until he reaches his point of his mission, and then tackle him down. And then when he goes to court, they have the evidence that this guy, what he was planning to do. And this will show you why they need ICE and why they need to do whatever they need to do, because of national security. In the name of national security, people will start to agree with the ICE. They got a lot of Americans agreeing with Donald Trump. There's a big percentage, even of black Americans, that agree with Donald Trump. But not just white Americans, a lot of black Americans agree with Donald Trump. So that's his power, what he's using, the influence of the hatred for certain people. He's using it big time, people. Reverse psychology he's doing on his people. It's not good. We're living in some different times. What you saying, people? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Started early, man. Started early. I know lunchtime is coming soon. It's coming up. Still on here, man. Live and direct. So what do you feel about this attempted assassination? How do you guys feel about it? Do you think it was staged? Do you think it's real? Well, the guy really doesn't like Donald Trump. But when I say stage, they were following this guy from the jump and made him do whatever he's done. So this is not 100% organic when you could stop somebody in their tracks before the attempt. Right? You were warned by the man's family. So stop trying to sell us wolf tickets, if they call it wolf tickets. Some fake shit. Trying to fool everybody. You ain't fooling me. You ain't fooling me. Right? You ain't fooling me, man. And then he puts out, oh, declassified marijuana in America. So a lot of people are loving that. Oh, he's declassifying marijuana. And, oh, he's making us with the psychedelics, us able to use psychedelics. Shit. When they start to talk about stuff like that, you know it's a distraction. Psychedelics, weed declassification to make it more soft on it. So you can say, oh, Donald Trump is so cool. You see that he's basically trying to legalize weed for us and stuff like that. And the psychedelics, he's putting that through. So damn, he can't be that bad. So Americans don't give a shit about what's going on in the Middle East. Only if it's affecting their pockets. They don't care about the war. This is to show you there's no protests going on. No one is protesting the war, people. No one is protesting, if you notice. No one is protesting the war. And if they're protesting the war, it's silent, quiet. You're not hearing about anything. You're not hearing about nothing. But people, support the platform. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What do you think? What do you think about the situation? What do you think about the situation? A lot of people are scared, man. I'm gonna be checking out certain things after I'm finished. I'm gonna be checking out certain things because I know 100% they're playing around. They are playing around. And this live, YouTube, don't be playing with me that it's buffering after I'm done. I just exposed it. I'm gonna say it again. This was stage shit. You get what I mean? They could have stopped all the shit. And they allowed this guy to go all the way to Washington to do what he's doing. Right? They allowed him. They used the energy of his anger and they made him keep going. And then they stopped him. Never assassinated him. Never unalived him. They allowed him so much. I gave you the points. They knew about him. He was in a hotel. And then, what else? Oh, yeah, he purchased weapons too. He purchased the weapons too. Man, who they trying to fool, man? Who are they trying to fool? They're fooling you, people, a lot. Man, I hate when I seen this coming, man. Brainwash. And I'm gonna give it, like I said this a couple of weeks, the filtration of media. They have put out a lot of stories to overshadow a lot of things. Let's see what's gonna overshadow this guy's stuff, because it is going viral. This guy Cole, I keep forgetting his Allen Thompson or Cole Tomas Allen, whatever his name is. They're gonna overshadow this shit. They're gonna try to overshadow this shit down the line, because caught their hands in the cookie jar, man. You can't fool people like me. You can fool the others. And right now, like I said, there's these other celebrity stories where are big. They tried the one with that guy D4VD the other day with his case, which should be big. That guy unaliving that young girl, the artist, the TikTok artist. The Drake stuff worked perfectly. The other day, that Drake algorithm is still going, especially when he drops his album. Shit, that's going to make a lot of things disappear. It's May 15th, from May 15th all through the summer. That's going to make a lot of shit. That's going to be the algorithm, right? I'll be doing some content on that. That's going to be the algorithm. What else now do they have out there to distract you? They got the Drake stuff. They got a couple other things. So the important stuff ain't going through. The important stuff, you're not going to hear about that. You're not going to hear about that, man. They're doing a lot. They're doing a lot on here. Look, I could tell you, I've been on here from about 9, live and direct, right? I've been on here about 9, live and direct. It's about 11:16 Eastern time. And I could see it, the algorithm. I know how to play with the algorithm. I could come on here later on, right? All I have to do is to put up the right algorithm, what's out there. It doesn't have to be Donald Trump. It doesn't have to be this situation. I'll see something different. I'll see something different, right? Put up some foolishness. If you know what that means. Put up something what's not important and talk about it, right? Talk about that. Put up something what's not that much important, and then you see the views, right? People are tired of Donald Trump. I don't blame people to be tired of him because he's a liar. How much times do you want to listen to a liar? It makes sense. You don't want to keep listening to a man who lies, even if he's telling the truth. You're not even going to believe his truths anymore because he's been caught lying so much. So much people, when they see his face, they might tap in. But this guy's been lying so much, you cannot believe anything he really says. Too much, even if it's the truth. So now we shall see what's next. Will he talk about aliens? Will he? What else he's going to talk about? Is he going to threat? Is he going to start bringing the threats up back against Iran? What else? There's something big what's going to have to hit right now. There's probably stories going on right now, right? But I know right now, because summertime's summertime's coming. You got to do certain things differently as a content maker. It's changing. I see it. It's changing. You got to do certain things different, because if you're trying to tell the truth or expose shit, they are coming after us 100%. Be it locking your ass up, be it playing with your streams, like not making it play, be it cutting your audio, all that shit they will be doing 100%. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I know Monday is a day, the start of the week. A lot of people, they don't take in the content as much until the evening time. So I'm going to leave this on here for people to take it in 100%. Let's see if they play with this stream. I'm ready to see if they play with this stream. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network, the Down to Earth Podcast with your host, Sean Myrie. I'm out.